Good morning, Morning Musings by Melinda. How's everybody doing? It is the 14th of January, and I know if you're looking at what's going on right now that you're as nervous as I am about what's going to happen in the next week, and want to remind you that people who are violent for any cause are on the fringe, that, most people are not going to become a rabble-rousing group, whether you're on the left or you're on the right. These are fringe people on either side, and those of us who have some common sense and some reasonable energy have to hold space that nothing happens that causes more hurt in this country, that even though we may have strong feelings one way or the other, that we have to find a way to bridge together and move forward without violence and without somebody else getting killed. It's a tough situation, so it causes a lot of stress, and that's what our conversation is about today, is how to find relaxation in an incredibly stressful environment. And it's one of those things where you want to watch the news because you want to know what's going on, but you don't want to watch the news because you don't want to know what's going on. And so what I think is that you can't bombard yourself with news and keep your focus on the negativity, because that creates additional stress. So, I do listen to the news, but maybe only once a day, instead of having, total focus for those of you who are at home on the news being on all day. I think that is part of bombarding your energy field with fear and negativity, that you can't have a reasonable assumption that you're going to have any relaxation or any other thing other than stress. So, but there are, ways that we combat stress. I think our buckets are all full right now between COVID and politics, and then one drop spills our bucket over. And now I am talking to people daily that have lost loved ones to COVID. It's every single day I talk to somebody that has lost a loved one to COVID, and so their buckets spilled over. And for the rest of us, we have to hold space and prayers for those people. But in everyday life, to use the tools of relaxation, number one is something that I say very frequently, and that is meditation. You have to practice meditation daily to keep a calm spirit, to begin to engage with your higher power, and to allow yourself to feel like through that engagement of connecting to your higher power that you can find some peace in your being. Meditation is absolutely the way. Practice progressive muscle relaxation, where you start at the tips of your toes and move up to the top of your head, and think about each muscle relaxing as you go up. Focus on your breathing. Taking a walk or any form of exercise is absolutely a key tool to moving through stress and finding relaxation. Make sure that you are enjoying aromatherapy. Take a bath. Create artwork. I talked to my sister this morning. We talked about how lovely it is that we see many of our cousins on here, and that just that connection of seeing our cousins and talking to each other can help with the stress. So make sure you reach out to a loved one. My sister is on the other side of the country, so when we talk in the morning, I'm on my way to work. It's early, but it's a little bit later in the day for her. So that's a stress relief strategy. And then make sure that you're eating a balanced diet. Sugar, a lot of sugar and carbs and so on really add to your stress. Make sure that you are doing something like, Elliot, my grandchild, came over the other night and we played a couple of games of Go Fish. And I had a very long, hard day talking to people that were totally stressed out. But just that little bit of time where Elliot and I did that, it calmed me down. Develop a positive self-talk habit. That's one of the most vital tools in working through the kind of bombardment of negative energy that we are all receiving right now. And that is, making sure that you are talking positively. Even those of us who have lost loved ones have to keep that positive talk going about understanding that there is life after life, and that we can create and develop a relationship with our loved ones from the other side. Express gratitude. This is something that we talk about all the time. Please remember that if you are adding to the problem by writing divisive things on Facebook rather than collaborative things on Facebook, then your stress level will increase, because there will be people that combat that or say things negatively to you, etc. So watch how you're putting out your written and your spoken word. It's really a difficult time. My heart aches. I know your heart aches. I have an issue that if I'm stressed, I tend to eat sugar and carbs. I'm really working hard on that right now so that doesn't increase the energy within me that is negative. It's just a really tough situation. Get a hug from somebody that you live with. Make a reach out to somebody that you haven't talked to in a long time. Write an old-fashioned letter and send it through snail mail. Just do some things that maybe you haven't done in a long time. Don't sit in front of the boob tube. Read a book if you haven't read in a long time. There are all kinds of ways to find the tools of relaxation in this difficult and hard time. And if all else fails and you are really struggling and you're in a state of depression and you can't make movement, make sure you reach out to a counselor and a therapist, somebody that you can talk to. Remember, many counselors and therapists are still working, maybe on Zoom, but it still is helpful. I actually enjoy being on Zoom with someone because I'd rather see them this way, the way that you and I are seeing each other, what you're seeing me, than I would with a mask over my face. But it's all good. So make sure that you find somebody to talk to if you don't have somebody, okay? And so, hey, we got a week in front of us, don't we? We got a week where we have to hold space for each other. We have to honor each other. We have to respect each other. We have to love each other despite differences. We have to move forward. We have no choice. We have to move forward appropriately and keep our fingers crossed, our prayers going, and the positive energy that we move forward without anybody else engaging in something inappropriate or hurting somebody. Okay? All right. Have a great day.